Welcome back, gamers, to All Your Base.Space. I'm your host, Spin Assassin, and today we're talking about XCOM 3, doing some wild speculation. I just finished XCOM 2, and there will definitely be an XCOM 3. At least there's room for XCOM 3. Now here's some cutscenes towards the end of the game. If you haven't finished it yet, maybe you're going to want to save the speculation till after you're done. There's going to be some spoilers here, so definitely if you're concerned that I'll really reveal the story, then thank you very much. Give me a like and turn this video off. But for everyone else who's played it, who's a big fan of XCOM, I just wanted to talk about the XCOM 3 possibility for a minute. Now, XCOM 1 Enemy Unknown was, a reboot of the original XCOM. XCOM 2 was a whole new idea, where this is the Earth that would have happened if you lost the first game, which is really freaking cool idea. So every time you had to reload your game in XCOM Enemy Unknown, this is the result. You'd end up playing XCOM 2. So there are, 200 or so, for my save games alone, alternate realities where XCOM 2 was the new future. But at the end of XCOM 2, you're going to see that things aren't exactly as they seem. It's not so straightforward as an alien invasion. So this is actually pretty cool, this cutscene. You know what? XCOM, it reminds me a lot of Colony. If you guys watch that TV show Colony. So here's the end. Pretty interesting, isn't it? What aren't we ready for? What is it? And what test were we supposed to not fail? There's a lot of questions there, and we can only speculate the answers for now. I hope it's going to be good, but it seems like the whole point of the invasion was that the aliens were searching. They called it a cure, I think. This is pretty cool. I love this. It's a lot like Colony. Or Colony is a lot like this, actually. It's a good show. And this was a great game. You gotta admit. I feel like playing it again, in fact. Probably won't, though. Mass Effect is coming, so that's not going to be deep in Mass Effect for at least a couple months, I think. So yeah, they seem to regret that we were finally beating them, and we were almost gonna pass this test. Now watch this. This is like the after credits kind of thing you see at the end of movies. There's the statue of the Elder. What's right behind it? Some purple lights. Is that why they built their base down there in the first place? Looks like it's alive, that energy or something, right? Now that is pretty darn interesting. And you know what? The whole underwater thing of the last mission here that you can see really brought back Terror from the Deep. Now, Terror from the Deep was the original XCOM 2, and it was kind of strange. I mean, I liked it. A lot of the XCOM community didn't like it. They rejected it, but I actually found it was a better game than the first original XCOM. The underwater thing, I don't know. I mean, to me it turned out to be a great game, but if they would have asked me, where should we take XCOM next, I would not have said, we need to go under the sea. No, I wouldn't have thought that. So it was pretty inspired and pretty brave for them to try that. But the naval ranks were cool. I mean, there's that one first mission where you play underwater and you bring your conventional weapons down there, and it's click click. You can't shoot. Oh man, did I freak at that? You have to load everyone back into the whatever the equivalent of the Sky Ranger was, and go back and get new weapons. And so it was pretty cool. I mean, you had your underwater weapons and you had your surface weapons, and later in the game you could use your plasma weapons in both spots, so that's what I always opted for. The naval ranks were cool. You had like petty officers instead of sergeants and neat stuff like that. But you know, the game itself was fun, and it was more complicated. And there were lots of cool locations. So there were land missions, like on docks and stuff like that. And on ships at sea. You would actually land on the ship, and it'd be full of containers or whatever else. And of course, the underwater bases, underwater locations, not to mention downed, UFOs and whatnot. But it seems to me like it's connected with Terror from the Deep. I'm just going to stop the action here. And so that's the XCOM team. And they're holding up a picture of XCOM 3, and they've got this fishy alien. And, you know, that doesn't make it any clearer. I mean, it might have underwater elements the next game. It might be Terror from the Deep. I mean, that's where the terror comes from. But I'm not sure the whole thing's going to be so underwater. It might be more like this, like you attack an underwater base or an underwater facility. I mean, there might even be underwater cities in the future. Who knows? You know, it'd be neat to play in a submarine or ships again and stuff like that. Really expand XCOM's locations to different places, like everywhere. So they're, you know, to use a British term, they're taking the piss, I think, those devs. I don't think it's actually going to be a Terror from the Deep situation. And it is neat that purple, that menacing purple energy, living squid-like energy that comes out of the bottom of the sea there. So what was it that the aliens were preparing for? Some kind of beast from another dimension? And it looks like they thought that we were the key to beating this alien interdimensional threat. And that's not outside of reality or outside of possibility either. With the OG, the original XCOM, the aliens were coming from Mars, from Cydonia. And in the second one, the aliens were always there. They exterminated the dinosaurs, and they were under the crust, under the sea. And we just discovered them finally coming out of hibernation or something. But XCOM 3 doesn't have to follow that formula. It could be, you know, some monster from another dimension which prompted the aliens to launch their huge invasions of other planets because they couldn't handle it. They couldn't take on the enemy. But maybe they give you that glimmer of hope that maybe they found something in humanity that was going to beat the aliens. Well, too bad the aliens acted like dicks, just didn't ask us for help in the first place, and tried to take us over instead. And it looks like we're going to take on the purple sea alien, sea energy, whatever it is, on our own. And that could be, very logically speaking, that's very possible that will be the XCOM 3. And I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a great game. I wish the developers all of the best of luck, and thank you for making such a great comeback for XCOM. Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2, both excellent games, and I love playing them. So that's all I got for you today, gamers, and thank you very much for coming by. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment if you wish, if you got some inside info, and I will see you next time.